Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 93. I'm so glad you're here today and I hope you're doing fantastic. We are going to be reading out of Leviticus chapter 5, Proverbs chapter 25, Romans chapter 3, but only verses 1 through 20 today. And then we're going to close out the day with Psalm 65, verses 1 through 8. So let's get started in Leviticus chapter 5. If anyone sins in that he hears a public adjuration to testify, he, being a witness, whether he has seen or known, if he doesn't report it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or, if anyone touches any unclean thing, whether it is the carcass of an unclean animal, or the carcass of unclean livestock, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and it is hidden from him, and he is unclean, then he shall be guilty. Or, if he touches the uncleanness of a man, whatever his uncleanness is with which he is unclean, and it is hidden from him, when he knows of it, then he shall be guilty. Or, if anyone swears rashly with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatever it is that a man might utter rashly with an oath, and it is hidden from him, when he knows of it, then he will be guilty of one of these. It shall be, when he is guilty of one of these, he shall confess that in which he has sinned, and he shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh for his sin which he has sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin. If he can't afford a lamb, then he shall bring his trespass offering for that in which he has sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to Yahweh, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall first offer the one which is for the sin offering. He shall wring off its head from its neck, but shall not sever it completely. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. He shall offer the second for a burnt offering, according to the ordinance, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin which he has sinned, and he shall be forgiven. But if he can't afford 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he shall bring as his offering for that in which he has sinned 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil on it, and he shall not put any frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it as a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar on the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. It is a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, that he has sinned in any of these things, and he will be forgiven, and the rest shall be of the priest as the meal offering. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, If anyone commits a trespass and sins unwittingly regarding Yahweh's holy things, then he shall bring his trespass offering to Yahweh, a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation in silver by shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary for a trespass offering. He shall make restitution for that which he has done wrong regarding the holy thing, and shall add a 5th part to it, and give it to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and he will be forgiven. If anyone sins doing any of the things which Yahweh has commanded not to be done, though he didn't know it, he is still guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. He shall bring a ram without defect from the flock, according to your estimation, for a trespass offering to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning the thing in which he sinned and didn't know it, and he will be forgiven. It is a trespass offering. He is certainly guilty before Yahweh. Oh my goodness, you guys. I would not have made it during the days before Jesus. It's overwhelming to me. It's so much. And it's no wonder God sent Jesus. That's just too much to keep up with. So Proverbs chapter 25. I'm so thankful. I apologize for Fred. Honestly, this is maybe my 7th time trying to record this video. He's really unruly today. But we're going to continue on Proverbs chapter 25. These also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and material comes out for the refiner. Take away the wicked from the king's presence, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Don't exalt yourselves in the presence of the king, or claim a place among great men, for it is better that it be said to you, "Come up here," than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom your eyes have seen. Don't be hasty in bringing charges to court. What will you do in the end when your neighbor shames you? Debate your case with your neighbor, and don't betray the confidence of another, lest one who hears it put you to shame, and your bad reputation never depart. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover to an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to those who send him, for he refreshes the soul of his master. As clouds and wind without rain, so is he who boasts of gifts deceitfully. By patience a ruler is persuaded. A soft tongue breaks the bone. Have you found honey? Eat as much as is sufficient for you, lest you eat too much and vomit it. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he be weary of you and hate you. A man who gives false testimony against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, or a sharp arrow. Confidence in someone unfaithful in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a lame foot. As one who takes away a garment in cold weather or vinegar on soda, so is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and Yahweh will reward you. The north wind produces rain, so a backbiting tongue brings an angry face. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to share a house with a contentious woman. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Like a muddied spring and a polluted well, so is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Like a city that is broken down and without walls is a man whose spirit is without restraint. All right, then, moving into Romans chapter 3, verses 1 through 20. All right, then, what advantage does the Jew have? Or what is the profit of circumcision? Much in every way, because first of all, they were entrusted with the revelations of God. For what if some were without faith? Will their lack of faith nullify the faithfulness of God? May it never be. Yes, let God be found true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that you might be justified in your words, and might prevail when you come into judgment. But if our unrighteousness commends the righteousness of God, what will we say? Is God unrighteous who inflicts wrath? I speak like men do. May it never be, for then how will God judge the world? For if the truth of God through my lie abounded to his glory, why am I also still judged as a sinner? Why not? As we were slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let's do evil, that good may come. Those who say so are just condemned. What then? Are we better than they? No, in no way. For we previously warned both Jews and Greeks that they are all under sin. As it is written, there is no one righteous, no, not one. There is no one who understands, there is no one who seeks after God. They have all turned away. They have together become unprofitable. There is no one who does good. No, not so much as one. Their throat is an open tomb. With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of vipers is under their lips. Their mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways. The way of peace they haven't known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that whatever things the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, that every mouth be closed, and all the world may be brought under the judgment of God. Because by the works of the law, no flesh will be justified in his sight, for through the law comes the knowledge of sin. Wow. All right, Proverbs 65, verses 1 through 8. Let's close out this day. Today is actually a Friday, which means I got to do a fun Friday. So maybe I'll go grab him right after this. See if I can settle him down. This is for the chief musician, a psalm by David. A song. Praise waits for you, God, in Zion. Vows shall be performed to you. You who hear prayer, all men will come to you. Sin overwhelmed me, but you atoned for our transgressions. Blessed is the one whom you choose and cause to come near, that he may live in your courts. He will be filled with the goodness of your house, your holy temple. By awesome deeds of righteousness you answer us, God of our salvation. You who are the hope of all ends of the earth, of those who are far away on the sea. By your power you form the mountains, having armed yourself with strength. You still the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the turmoil of the nations. They also who dwell in faraway places are afraid at your wonders. You call the morning's dawn and the evening with songs of joy. Oh, He is so good. God is so good. And you know, in the very beginning, with His intentions to create the universe and create earth and create the animals and create man, He had this fabulous idea in His mind of how it should be. And we mucked it up. And so then He does a redo with Moses and the tabernacle and the directions for, okay, if you are going to sin, this is how you ask for forgiveness. We still mucked it up. Oh, and so what does He do? He sends His Son, Jesus, for the final offering, for His blood to cover all our sins, no matter who we are. And we are still mucking it up. But we can keep trying. We can keep trying by putting our hearts close to Jesus. Because when our hearts are close to Jesus, we're more likely to follow Him and do what He asks of us. So I'm going to close out the day. I feel like I might be losing my voice. It's just one of those days, folks. And I hope you have the most fantastic day today. Please sit on the words that we've read today, kind of mull them around, and then say a prayer. Go ahead and open your heart to Jesus and have a talk with Him today. And until then, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.